Welcome back to McCarthy Performance. I made a video on washing the 283. I intended to splice some of this in there, but the video became so big that I couldn't even cut it down. So with my phone capacity. So let's get to this. Okay, LS decking it with the BHJ2 deck system. This is how I like to do it, but I do it a bunch of different ways. But I always try 3, 4 different ways that I find something that I like. And I know you can buy a very expensive gauge from BHJ, and I'm not much on that. They make good products, and I don't mind buying them. But if I can make it or use something else and get the same result, I'll do it. This is a planer gauge. This is what I like to use. This is already set up for the other side of the deck. What I have is I have a ground flat bar that I'll wipe off. And it's pretty darn close to being flat. And I'll set that up on the deck. And I'll move the planer gauge. I'll set the planer gauge there. We'll have to wipe the bottom of it off because it'll be dirty. If you rub your hand on it, you can get most any of the residual off. Wipe it on your pant leg. Okay. Make sure your plate is nice and clean and there's no milling dust on it from milling the block. Okay, put this on here. What this is going to allow me to do is I'm going to be able to slide it from here and measure it here, and then I can turn it around, or I can slide it and I can measure this, and it's going to tell me how straight I am to the plate with just using a simple feeler gauge. Doesn't have to get any more complicated than that. Pretty easy to use. I'm in the midpoint of my cut. There's, according to the dial indicator and everything, when I zeroed the other side, I should be 3 to 2.5 thousandths is what I need to be zero to the other side. So I should be able to take a 2 thousandths feeler gauge easily. Right there's a 2. And I'm going to stick it underneath the gauge, and I had just a slight bit of resistance, just a little bit of drag. Okay, it's saying that I've got still to take off, and it'll probably be close to 3, like I said. But let's try 2.5, because I can do 2.5, and that's kind of slicing hairs on the deck, but it's a whole lot easier to take a little bit than take too much. You can't put it back on. 0.5 thousandths ain't a whole lot to get excited about with this machine. So we're at 2.5, and I'm pulling on the gauge. So I was up on the deck. Okay, I was up under the deck. You got to watch that. I had the feeler gauge up under the edge of the deck. So that's 2.5. We'll try 3 because one side of the center line should be relatively straight, but there could be some indifference somewhere. A little here, a little there. Okay, that's 3. I'm under the deck again, so that's 3. So if I set it for 0 to the other side, I should be good. There's a little bit of resistance on it at 3, realistically. Yeah, 3. So that's how I do it. Planer gauge, feeler gauge. I also got precision blocks. I've done it that way. Stack a bunch of precision blocks up under here. Measure it here and here. But it's really kind of hard to get the feel. it's a lot easier to put it on a feeler gauge and just pull back, and you just move this way and pull back. And, you know, as long as you can get this relatively close, like I said, my gauge indicated in my readout on the machine indicated that I had to take another 3 off this side to be 0 to the other side. And that's what I used. Thank you for watching. Okay, we're going to probably have to wash this block one more time. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's those little beads that are stuck right in here. We got to get them out. That one just came out. And if you see, right there is one that just came out. It's steel shot from when it was cleaned that just refuses to come out, so we're encouraging it to leave. And this one's got one here and one here, and that's just stuff that will eventually go through the engine. And guess what, it's small enough to go through the oil pickup screen, no problem. It'll hula hoop right through the holes in the screen. So it's got to come out. You know, would it actually work its way out eventually? I don't want to play that game. We'll get it right now. So we got them all loose. I believe there's one up here. We'll flip the engine around and make sure that there's no more of that jammed up into them plugs. And back here it was just so rusty it wouldn't clean up, so we went in there with a little bit of a ball mill. And right here you can see this is full of scaly rust. It's you know, it's there. You know, what are you going to do? I'm going to hit it with a ball mill. That's what I'm going to do. Hit it with a ball mill, and I'm going to give this thing a one more bath. Blow it all out. Put the rest of the plugs in it and call it ready to get together. Or go together, excuse me.